book lovers, book readers, book friends. Welcome to Read This Book. I am your book hostess, LaShonda, bringing you this week's book review of not one, but two books. But it's by the same author, Aidee James. Aidee James is a Mexican American author who is new to me, and I had the pleasure of reading this duet. The first book in the duet is The King of Bourbon Street, and the second book is The Queen of Deceit. And you have to read them together. Okay, so let me just tell you straight out the gate. I was pissed. I was pissed at King of Bourbon Street. So, okay, before I tell you why I was pissed, I should probably tell you what the book is about. So, The King of Bourbon Street is about this mafia boss, Enzo Marcone, and he runs New Orleans in all the little parishes and territories and whatnot. He's the king, you know. You got to come to New Orleans and kiss the ring, you know, to get his blessings, all that stuff, right? And so the book opens up and he's like sitting in his, you know, big palace on Bourbon Street or French Quarters, wherever it's supposed to be, you know, just looking at the peasants, you know, whatever. And he's unhappy, just kind of like, all right, it's business as usual. And so then he gets messages that like one of his ships got stopped at the not the border, but in the harbor. Like things start happening in his business that shouldn't be happening. Like, you know, product not showing up because, yeah, you know, they do drugs. You know, products not showing up, or, you know, one of his lieutenants got kidnapped. Like all these things are starting to like happen. And he's like, okay, what's up? What's really going on? And then they get word that, oh, it's a new boss from New York, Callaghan, is trying to move in on your territory. And he was like, okay, that's rude. Everybody knows that, you know, you just don't come in and move in on people's territory. You come see the king and we talk about it. And if I bless you, I bless you. But if I don't, I don't. And you move on about your life. You don't want it with me. I'm Enzo Marcone. And I was like, right, you Enzo Marcone. Because, you know, I read a lot of Mafia. So I'm about this Mafia life, in case you didn't know. Like, I'm really about it. But anyway, so, you know, things are happening and it's starting to get more intense, and just more stuff starts happening. And then he gets an invite to go to the club that this Brian Callaghan owns, you know, so they can have a sit down. So he walks into the club, whatever, and the secretary, whatever, you know, greets them like, hey, have drinks, you know, the show, da-da-da, is on us, we'll be with you shortly. And so while he's sitting there, they're watching this dancer come out and she dances, and he's just like captivated by her, just captivated by her beauty, you know, and just the innocence of her. Like he's totally captured. And I was like, sounds like a setup to me, but okay. And so then after the lady gets through dancing Rose, you know, the receptionist come back over and was like, hey, you know, Mr. Callaghan is unfortunately able to meet with you, but he wanted to give you this da 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 da, you know, like this money or whatever as a peace offering. And basically like, and by the way, we're gonna be taking over your shit. And Enzo was like, nah, not today, this ain't how this work. And so then some things pop off and he's basically like, tell him it's game on. If he don't get out of my territory within a week and back off, game on. And I was like, okay, Enzo, let him know, game on. You just ain't gonna come in here on my territory. And so then after everything happens, you know, there's the conversation, the receptionist talking to the boss, her boss, this Callaghan guy, was like, oh, well, he didn't accept our terms. And they was like, oh, well, then I guess it's war. And so they sends him a chess piece and it's a black king piece. And he was like, oh, okay, game on. Enzo. Enzo, Enzo, Enzo. Did I tell y'all that I read a lot of Mafia romance books? I do. I read a lot. So I'm already like, okay, thinking like a Mafia boss. Like, what you gonna do, Enzo? What you gonna do? So lo and behold, they're a Haste Club. They come back. There's like, oh, the girl from the club, from the other club is here, the one that danced. And he was like, okay, send her up. And they was like, boss. He was like, send her up. you know she's a spy. And I was like, yeah, she a spy. And so she comes up and she's giving this story about he sent me to you and I can't come back without information. Like, she is selling it. And I was like, dude, Enzo fell for the okie doke. Not only does he take the spy, you know she's a spy. Why are you treating her like she's a princess in a castle? Showing her the lay of the land, talking about security. He's just being stupid. And I'm like, she's the enemy. Dude, you can't be doing this. And so his like other lieutenants is trying to like tell him like, yo, don't do this. This something ain't right about this. And he was like, who the boss? And they's like, you the boss. But really they are like, dumbass. And I'm like, dumbass. And so you're going through this book and you're in the sense that he's really attracted to her, although he's trying not to be. He's trying to be all, you know, tough and badass and stuff, but yet and still he's breaking his own rules for her. And I'm like, well, this is gonna end bad. Yup. And so that was book one, King of Bourbon Street, because some things pop off and things go really, really, really bad. And then you pick up in book two in Queen of Deceit. And you come to find out that Dylan is really Rose. Rose is really the boss that's been messing up his stuff. And she's like, oh, what you thought? Oh, all y'all make the same mistake. You always think that Dylan is a man, but Dylan's my middle name. I'm Rose Dylan Callaghan. And I'm basically took over your shit. Now what? Kneel at my feet. And he's just like, and I was like, see, Enzo, I told you. So in this book, I have no empathy for Enzo. I'm like, you had this coming. You missed all the signs. You broke your own rules. So you're going to have to deal with it. Kneel at her feet. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring, Enzo. And so in this book, you really see how cunning Rose is. You really see how deadly she is. And I was like, well, hello then, queen. Hello, queen. Because I'm here for a female mafia boss. Okay, let's do this. So you're seeing like why she's really, truly, she's smart and making moves, and you know, she don't hesitate. You want to pop off, she gonna let you know she ain't the one, the two, or the three. And I was like, okay. But yet and still, there is this attraction between her and Enzo. They both have feelings for each other, but of course, he's struggling with his pride and the fact that he has been outwitted and outsmarted by this woman, which is similarly a turn on and also kind of makes him want to throw up. And so he's trying to fight those feelings and also figure out how he's going to survive, how, you know, he's going to stay in power. And at the same time, she's like, I won, ha, I got this. You know, her father is a Don, and you know, they years ago had been pushed out of New Orleans, and so basically he sent her to take it back. Well, he didn't send her, she sent herself. And that's another thing too. You have these dynamics with her and her father, with, you know, her wanting to prove that she can be a boss. And so she went and took back the city that was stolen from them. You get all of this in this book. But what really comes together in the second book is this fighting attraction that they have for each other in trying to be, you know, both dons of their respective families. And so some things happen, and now they got another group, Russians, that are gunning for them. And they are at his house, and some things pop off. And then he hears a noise that he shouldn't hear. And he was like, Rose, get up, we gotta go. Someone's in the house. And as soon as they like sneak off into a passage, like the compound gets hit hard. And so now they're running for their lives. And you're like, oh my God, are they gonna get out? Are they gonna get out? What's gonna happen? I mean, it is like guns blazing. I mean, all types of trickery. I mean, they are literally fighting for their lives. And then you have to read the rest of the book to find out what happens. But let's just say that some things happened that I did not see coming, although I knew that they were not going to be able to fight their attraction. I knew that there was going to be some bloodshed somewhere. I did not see the plot twist coming with the ending. I did not see, yeah, I didn't see a couple of things, and that made it exciting, because I was telling you, I was pissed in book one because I'm like, Enzo, you making mistakes, you not moving like a boss. And then in book two, you also see too where, yeah, he made some mistakes, but he wasn't dumb. And so it was just, it's a lot of drama. It's um a lot of who's gonna win. Book two was really like an adrenaline rush for me because I needed to know what was gonna happen, and she came with me with all guns blazing, and I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. So, Aidee James, you did that. You did that. So if you want a good Mafia duet to read, you want to read King of Bourbon Street and Queen of Deceit by Aidee James. And you're going to want to read them back to back, because that's what I did. When I finished book one, I was like, oh, I have to know what happened. So I immediately went and got Queen of Deceit, and I read them and I enjoyed them. And yeah, learning how to make mafia moves, baby. Making mafia moves. So that is my review of the duet. So again, if you want to read a good mafia romance that's got drama, that's got the shootouts, that's got the sexy, that's got deceit, family times, family drama, all of it, this book has it. So until next time, read a good book.